was that?
Greetings, friend. Are you here to explore these ruins? Greetings, friend. Are you here to explore these ruins? Excellent. My brother Darius and I were just discussing the same thing. Years ago, our father perished in these ruins. May he rest well. We wish to clear the place of the evil that resides inside. I believe that the more who will help us, the better. My brother believes that it is a matter of family honor, and we must do it ourselves. Enough, Darius. Please excuse my brother. It seems there is only one way for us to settle this. It is a time-honored Norvain family tradition. Please do not interfere. When our decision is made, we will let you know. Ah! Die, Fetcher! I have won the argument with my brother, and we will do things as I decide. Explore the ruins on your own, stranger. We will enter them on our own when we are ready. Here, take this key. We have no interest in treasure, but perhaps you can use it. Good luck to you. We will enter the ruins on our own when we are ready, friend. My brother has won our argument. Speak, traveler.
It's about time I had some fun! death awaits you.
You will die where you stand! This is too easy.
Your attention! Run while you still can, child. Arg! about time I had some fun. Here it comes.
How does it feel to know death is near? You should have picked an easier opponent. Run while you still can, child. Arg!
It's about time I had some fun. Hold still.
You're growing weak.
You like to walk a... I don't know you. What do you want? I am Thunmund, barbarian. Guards keep the peace and chase down criminals. I'm a barbarian, and proud of it. I like the wilderness and know how to live comfortably off the land. I'm busy. Thank you, very. I'm busy. Thank you, very. I'd prefer with me. You're too kind. That's fair. Your word. I'm not. I don't think I should. I'm not. Goodness. You're not. No one's told. I already. I'm good. I'd not. Yeah. I'd keep real thing. Keep not. Keep, get lost now.
What's this? I don't know you. What do you want? I am Tesellus Bertilius, sorcerer. I'll take that as a compliment. Show respect. What that you? I show. Don't say. Don't. What? Stop this.
I'm Zeba Benamamat, and you're in the village of Nisis. If there's some specific... I am Zeba Benamamat, clothier.
What was that?
This is Nisis. I'm Shulki Ashenbabi, Trader Service.
Yes.
Welcome to Nisus. I'm Hanabi Zabanatus. Can I help you find someone in particular? Or are you just looking for a little advice from a local? There's someone watching me. I can tell.
The poppy, both black and white, can be found growing wild in the mountains of Hammerfell. Their succulent pods are often the only nourishment of adventurers who find themselves in the wilderness without rations. It is said that the black and white poppies together have magical properties. When they are crushed and mixed with the milk of the agile-footed mountain goat, a potion that allows the user to glide safely above the ground can be made. Fire fern, a perennial herb native to Morrowind. The flowers are inconspicuous and often hidden. The glossy evergreen foliage and flowers are resistant to the conditions of high heat and bright light. A petal from this plant placed under an adventurer's tongue will provide protection from the heat and fire found in the lava pits and streams found around Dagoth Ur. Dragon's tongue, common name for a fern-like herb found in Black Marsh. It is especially prolific around the area of Utherus Swamp. It is a beautiful wildflower. Its name comes from the fire-red fronds that protect its golden flower. As pretty as it is a deadly poison to most living beings and needs to be avoided by adventurers. It is said, however, that Argonians can pick the plant and use the sap derived from its roots as an enhancement to their endurance. Domica redwort is a herb grown by many residents of Valenwood for their beautiful and showy flowers. They attain a height of about 3 feet and have feathery leaves. The flowers are usually bright red. In addition to their beauty, they are said to have magical abilities to enhance the appearance of anyone who carries or wears one of the flowers. Ironwood nut. This rare nut comes from the ironwood trees which grow deep in the forests of Skyrim. The wood from these trees is as hard as the metal for which they are named. The very rare black ironwood tree is said to produce a nut which is very succulent and is believed to enhance the strength of the adventurer who is able to crack its shell. The ginkgo leaves, which are found along the banks of rivers and lakes in Hammerfell, are most inconspicuous. Only its peculiar half-moon shape makes it noticeable. It is very sweet and tasty. Legend has it that when mixed properly with the pulp of the aloe plant, the potion has the ability to increase one's stamina for a short while. The somnalius fern can be found in the swamps of Black Marsh. The fronds from this plant are light green and quite delicate. Picking a frond can be very difficult, but once retrieved, it can be used to put an enemy to sleep for a short while by passing it under his nose. Arrowroot is a thick, rubbery tuber that can be found in the province of Valenwood. The plant is very difficult to find, as its above-ground foliage is very meagre and scrawny, but the arrowroot itself can be most beneficial to the gatherer, as it has magical properties. The paste made from grinding the root is very tasty and can improve the user's accuracy with a bow and arrow. Nightshade is reputed to be a very poisonous herb. However, the variety found in many parts of elsewhere is cherished by Khajiits who have followed the career path of thievery. Many Khajiits will tuck a piece of nightshade inside their armor to increase their abilities to skulk, hide, and become invisible. These are excerpts from this lengthy tome describing the nature of each of the Daedra. Azura, whose sphere is dusk and dawn, the magic in-between realms of twilight, known as Moonshadow, Mother of the Rose, and Queen of the Night Sky. Boethia, whose sphere is deceit and conspiracy, and the secret plots of murder, assassination, treason, and unlawful overthrow of authority. Clavicus Vile, whose sphere is the granting of power and wishes through ritual invocations and pact. Hermaeus Mora, whose sphere is scrying of the tides of fate, of the past and future as read in the stars and heavens, and in whose dominion are the treasures of knowledge and memory. Hircine, whose sphere is the hunt, the sport of Daedra, the great game, the chase, known as the huntsman and the father of man-beasts. Malakath, whose sphere is the patronage of the spurned and ostracized, the keeper of the sworn oath and the bloody curse. Mehrunes Dagon, whose sphere is destruction, change, revolution, energy, and ambition. Mephala, whose sphere is obscured to mortals, known by the names web-spinner, spinner, and spider, whose only consistent theme seems to be interference in the affairs of mortals for her amusement. Meridia, whose sphere is obscured to mortals, who is associated with the energies of living things. Molag Bal, whose sphere is the domination and enslavement of mortals, whose desire is to harvest the souls of mortals and to bring mortals' souls within his sway by spreading seeds of strife and discord in the mortal realms. Namira, whose sphere is the ancient darkness, known as the spirit Daedra, ruler of sundry dark and shadowy spirits, associated with spiders, insects, slugs, and other repulsive creatures which inspire mortals with an instinctive revulsion. Nocturnal, whose sphere is the night and darkness, who is known as the Night Mistress. Pereite, whose sphere is the ordering of the lowest orders of oblivion, known as the Taskmaster. Sanguine, whose sphere is hedonistic revelry and debauchery and passionate indulgences of darker natures. Sheogorath, whose sphere is madness and whose motives are unknowable. Vvardenfell, whose sphere is the realm of dreams and nightmares, and from whose realm issues forth evil omens, especially marked for special interest under the heading Malakath. You find a reference to Scourge, blessed by Malakath and dedicated to the use of mortals. In short, the reference suggests that any Daedra attempting to invoke the weapon's powers will be expelled into the void streams of oblivion. Of the legendary artifacts of the Daedra, many are well known, like Azura's Star and Sheogorath's Wabberjack. Others are less well known, like Scourge, Macken's Hammer, Bane of Daedra. Yet though Malakath blessed Scourge to be potent against his Daedra kin, he thought not that it should fall into Daedric hands, then to serve as a tool for private war among caitiff and forsaken. Thus did Malakath curse the device, such that, should any dark kin seek to invoke its powers, that a void should open and swallow that Daedra and purge him into oblivion's void streams, from thence to pathfind back to the real and unreal worlds in the full order of time.
Go ahead. I see by your outfit that your affairs have prospered. Can I help you? I am Maeonius Manlu, farmer. Fine sentiments. That's crazy. Stop this! Good day, Outlander, and welcome to Nesis. We're a small mining village with a temple and a legion garrison, and a handy outfit. Where would you like to go?
Okay, Outlander, but make it quick.
Welcome to Aldrune. Are you new here? I don't believe we've met. You want orders? Talk to Perseus. Do you want something from me?
Do you have any new information on the situation? Ah, welcome. Do you have any new information on the situation in Voss? You should speak to Uline Hanim. Uline Hanim is dead? Bah! I don't know whether to accuse you of murder or negligence. Maybe you didn't kill her, but she's still dead. Uline Hanim is dead? Bah! I don't know whether... The Fighters Guild often enacts justice when there is no one else who can do so. I just received a contract straight from Cyrodiil. I need someone to find the murderer and outlaw Nerer Benaran. Nerer Benaran was a member of House Redoran. He is now the leader of an outlaw band in Sargon, which is north of Margan. Find Nerer Benaran and bring him to justice. You might want to ask around Margan. I've heard this outlaw refuge is on an island and well hidden. Perform your duties and practice your skills. You are not ready yet. Maybe you didn't kill her, but she's still dead.
The sun and moons transform day to night, but what transforms the mind?
Welcome to Aldrun. I'm Codus Colonus, bookseller. Are you new here? I don't believe we've met.
A passage from the text of The Vagaries of Magica. But take care lest power enfeeble the fundaments and curtail the flow through the conjuries except when functions be warranted, and safeguard that the conjuries shall not be abused by prideful wizards, confident in their skill and blinded by their ambitions. In this, hold the ordering of the conjuries among the oldest and most trusted of mages, and make secure this ordering through arcane codes and keys to confound even the most clever students. The restorals must be most carefully guarded, for how often have even the wise lusted to overreach their bodies and souls with vitality and mana? And also must the magica fountains be damped and banked, sanctioning their engendering only to the reconsecration of essential arcane engines and templates, and then only by common assent of the council. As their name suggests, the Dark Brotherhood has a history shrouded in obfuscation. Their ways are secret to those who are not themselves brothers of the Order. Brother is a generic term. Some of their deadliest assassins are female, but they are often called brothers as well. How they continue to exist in shadow but be easily found by those desperate enough to pay for their services is not the least of the mysteries surrounding them. The Dark Brotherhood sprang from a religious order, the Morag Tong, during the Second Era. The Morag Tong were worshippers of the Daedra spirit Mephala, who encouraged them to commit ritual murders. In their early years, they were as disorganized as only obscure cultists could be, due to there being no one to lead the group, and as a group they dared not murder anybody of any importance. This changed with the rise of the Night Mother. All leaders of the Morag Tong, and then afterward the Dark Brotherhood, have been called the Night Mother. Whether the same woman, if it is even a woman, has commanded the Dark Brotherhood since the Second Era is unknown. What is believed is that the original Night Mother developed an important doctrine of the Morag Tong, the belief that, while Mephala does grow stronger with every murder committed in her name, certain murders were better than others. Murders that came from hate pleased Mephala more than murders committed because of greed. Murders of great men and women pleased Mephala more than murders of relative unknowns. We can approximate the time this belief was adopted with the first known murder committed by the Morag Tong. In the year 324 of the Second Era, the potentate Versidue was murdered in his palace in what is today the Elsewhere kingdom of Senchal. In a brash move, the Night Mother announced the identity of the murderers by painting Morag Tong on the walls in the potentate's own blood. Previous to that, the Morag Tong existed in relative peace, more or less like a witch's coven, occasionally persecuted but usually ignored. In remarkable synchronicity, at a time when Tamriel the Arena was a fractured land, the Morag Tong was outlawed throughout the continent. Every sovereign gave the cult's elimination his highest priority. Nothing more was officially heard of them for 100 years. It is more difficult to date the era when the Morag Tong re-emerged as the Dark Brotherhood, especially as other guilds of assassins have sporadically appeared throughout the history of Tamriel. The first mention of the Dark Brotherhood that I have found is from the journals of the Blood Queen Alimahera of Hegata. She spoke of slaying her enemies by her own hand, or, if necessary, with the help of the Night Mother and her Dark Brotherhood, the secret arsenal my family has employed since my grandfather's time. Alimahera wrote this in 2 E412, so one can surmise that the Dark Brotherhood had been in existence since at least 360, if her grandfather had truly made use of them. The important distinction between the Dark Brotherhood and the Morag Tong was that the Brotherhood was a business as much as it was a cult. Rulers and wealthy merchants used the order as an assassin's guild. The Brotherhood gained the obvious rewards of a profitable enterprise, as well as the secondary benefit that rulers could no longer actively persecute them. They were needed. They were purveyors of an essential commodity. Even an extremely virtuous leader would be unwise to mistreat the Brotherhood. Not long after Alimahera's journal entry came perhaps the most famous series of executions in the history of the Dark Brotherhood. The Colovian Emperor Potentate Severian Korak and every one of his heirs were murdered on one bloody night in Sun's Dawn in 430. Within a fortnight, the Colovian dynasty crumbled to the delight of its enemies. For over 400 years, until the advent of the warrior emperor Tiber Septim, chaos reigned over Tamriel. Though no comparably impressive executions have been recorded, the Brotherhood must have grown fat with gold during that interregnum. The Dark Brotherhood has no shortage of business opportunities, and accounting, I have been informed, is the Brotherhood's favorite euphemism for an execution. While they are officially considered an unlawful organization in every corner of the empire, like the Thieves' Guild, they are almost as universally tolerated.
Well, if you're looking for someone in particular in Aldrun, maybe I can tell you.
There's someone watching me. I can tell.
Go ahead.
Good day. Can I help you find your way? I am Dandara Solaro, Smith.
Speak, traveler. Welcome to the humble shop of Tiras Zedus, trader and purveyor of quality general merchandise. Shall I tell you about my trade, or would you perhaps be interested in doing a little work for me? I've got better things to do, so if you don't mind, let's move this along. I'm Danes Redothril, the pawnbroker, and you are? Shall I tell you about my trade, or would you perhaps be interested in doing a little work for me? What do you want?
Well, if you're looking for someone in particular in Aldrune, maybe I can tell you. Hello again. What are you doing in Aldrune? Don't tell me you're looking for a little advice.
Good day. Can I help you find your way around Aldrune? Is there a specific place you're looking for?
I'm the race guild guide.
What do you want? I am a student here at the school. I want to learn to read. I'll take that as a compliment. That's nice to hear. Show respect. I'll say what? Say. Stop this. Stop this.
Good day. Can I help you find your way around Aldrune? Is there a specific place you're looking for? I am Tremona Marin, commoner. No. Get lost, now!
Hello. My name is Vala Catrasso, and I run a little class for Outlanders new to Morrowind. You may find it easier to get along here if you know a little about Morrowind lore. I'm also a priest, and I'd be happy to talk to you about my trade.